Let's see who's been naughty and who's been naughty. Mobsters beating up a shopkeeper for protection money. Very naughty. Shopkeepers not paying their protection money. Exactly as naughty. I saw that.
Hey everybody, Hosterone here with the last first edition Friday for the year of our Lord 2024. Merry Christmas and happy holidays to everybody and a happy new year that is upcoming. I got a special end of the year video for you. As I kind of hinted at / promised before, I wanted to do a video where we just focus on dilemmas. So my idea for our video today is for us to build some dilemma combos that, and I have some rules. 1, do not use the 10 most used dilemmas in the game, and then also probably 11 and 12, which is V'ger and Arsenal divided. These two have got to be 11 and 12. I would be willing to bet a lot of money that they are number 11 and 12 on this list, and if they're not, they should be, because this can just wreck an entire ship and everyone on board, and this one sets it up, and it also is a very good dilemma because it can basically help you win against the Romulan drones deck, which is a very good deck that shows up at the kind of local level and stuff. So we're going to build some dilemma combos. We are not going to have these 12 dilemmas at our disposal. The deck I have loaded here is just this kind of catch-all 164 missions, and then basically like what I consider the usable half of all dilemmas. There are, oh my gosh, I forget what the number is, like 400 and something dilemmas that are in the game. Of course, most of those are they're just not usable because they're either from a time in the game from long ago where they're just terrible, they were for a different game that was played differently, and so forth. Instead, what I have is kind of the 29, plus these 12, I have 29 usable planet dilemmas. We have, here are the 6 Q-Flash enabling dilemmas. Here are another 24 usable space dilemmas. These are the ones I consider to at least be functionally usable in the game. And then we have 63 usable dual dilemmas. Now, this is not extensive. There are some that are out there that are decent. If you want to play them, it's perfectly fine. But when I'm building random combos to face, these are the ones that I would, consider to be reasonably expected to face, right? For various different reasons, right? And so when you kind of add that up, we've got 35, we have 59, we have 121, plus these 12 is 133, we have 133, and then over here, what I've got are the Chula dilemmas that get downloaded by like a new game, the Royal Casino dilemmas, which are now somewhat usable again, and then the very specific use dilemmas such as Borg Servo and the Augment stuff and other Borg only useful stuff, and then now this Unfamiliar Reflection, which is whatever, but you kind of have 163-ish, so the top third-ish of all dilemmas. There's probably some other ones that you could probably compile into something like this if you wanted to. sure there's some that I missed. I went through the entire list of dilemmas and I just kind of threw things in as I saw them. I'm sure there's a few more, like protestations of innocence could fit into here maybe, and some other ones that just didn't make the cut otherwise, because I just wanted to like, it's like like when's anyone actually ever use the card, or unscheduled assistance in space, which could be good in the right deck, but it's so limited use that I'm not gonna like expect to see it. Like, you know, I'll see it once in an entire year of playing games, maybe. So, but anyway, this is what we got here. We are leaving the door open to using those other dilemmas, but for the most part, I've just put into our database here the ones I think that are good. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm building some combos here. The additional rule is going to be, and it's mainly going to get enforced by the fact that we don't have these 12 cards available to us, is we have to build combos that are not necessarily popular. They can be something that people have played. They might be something that you've even played. They might be something that I've played in the past just to shake things up. But the general rule is going to be that it cannot be just like I see this dilemma combo like routinely or all the time kind of a dilemma combo. We're going to use our imagination. We're going to use, we're going to brainstorm this out. We're going to use our noggin to try to come up with some stuff that's cool or interesting, might even be like, low-key powerful, but people just don't play with it for whatever reason. Yeah, so you understand what it is that I'm saying here. So we're going to take these dilemmas, we're just going to set them aside. We're not going to use them when we build our combos. Now, let's get started. Okay, the other rule is that we have to build 2 space dilemma combos, 2 dual dilemma combos, and 2 planet dilemma combos. And then our 4th rule is that we have 20 dilemma seeds that we can use. Okay, there's a lot of decks out there that can function on about 10 seeds that are good. And I mean, I personally play a lot of like 12 seed decks, 13, 14 seed decks, because I feel like the speed I get from that extra slot or 2 is worth more to me than the defense of a dilemma that might only hold up for a turn. So, but for the purposes of this exercise, we're going to assume we have 20 dilemmas with which to use. So we have the possibility of like 2 4-card combos or 3 4-card combos, but with a 2-card dilemma combo. So we have that all available to us. We're going to do that. The other rule that we have here, rule number 5, is that we are obviously not going to duplicate any combos. They have to be 6 different combos for our opponent to face. Okay, that's the rules. Let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to start off by going with a dilemma that I want to build around here, that I've been wanting to build around, which, it's in here. So I really wish that Lackey could organize this alphabetically. You know what I mean? Like, it's just so annoying. Like, maybe it does. Maybe there's a function there. I just have never seen it. So any of you guys out there, drop a comment if you know of a way to make Lackey organize this like a, I don't know. I wonder if you can set that up, like if you just do no shuffling. Maybe that's what it is. Preferences, key bindings, chat, macros, performance. No, miscellaneous. No. I want to say that you have the ability to disable the automatic shuffle when you load a deck, don't you? Huh. I don't know. I thought that was something that you could do. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Right? thought that was something you could do. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Yeah. If it's not, it really should be. I don't know why, like, automatic shuffling has to be a thing. But, whatever. Okay. Enough of that. Anyway, the clown on his throne. Countdown 2, place on mission, opponent chooses integrity, cunning, or strength. Replace other personnel attributes in dilemma and mission text here with the named attributes. So we can basically force any attribute check to be the attribute check of our choice. And that right off the bat, to me, seems really good with Spatial Rift. Oh gosh. Where's Spatial Rift at? I could swear I saw it. I know it's in here, Spatial Rift is definitely a good card. If I don't have it in here, then that's a problem. I can't imagine I don't. Yeah, it's here. Spatial Rift. It's in there. So why am I just not seeing it? Let's do this. Let's make everything easier for me to see. How about that? Let's be smart about this. Let's do smart things instead of dumb things. Why am I just not seeing it? Let's try Sickening Poisoning. Here it is. Alright. So, alright. So, there we go. So we've got Clown on his throne. Let's do this. Let's also zoom in a bit here. Zoom. Bang. Let's see that. Cool. Alright. So now we've zoomed in, so we can actually do that. So we've got Spatial Rift. So what we could do is that, generally speaking, this asks for Cunning. Cunning is typically the highest attribute on personnel cards most of the time. Like, if you were to take an average of all cards across the game, chances are the average, I would say that the greatest number of personnel where Cunning is their greatest attribute, it's probably there. If not, then generally speaking, it's like it's either the integrity or their strength, and whichever one of those is opposite of that tends to be their weakest one, because like strength and integrity typically don't go together. There's a lot of strong personnel who have middling to bad integrity. So basically what it is depending on what affiliation that our opponent is running. So if they're running Dominion, they're playing lots of Jem'Hadar, you want to switch this to, you want to just leave this as Cunning. You would just call Cunning and leave it alone. If it's like Feds, typically Feds are high on integrity, pretty decent on Cunning, but they on average tend to lack strength. And since we're just trying to pull, you know, a 7 and a 7 on average, we would call Strength. If you're facing Bajorans, you don't want to call Integrity, you probably want to call Strength. If you're facing Cardassians, you probably actually want to switch it to Integrity. If you're placing Romulans, switch it to Integrity. You're playing, you know, just you have to understand the opponent and their affiliation, but it just gives us the option to get it off of Cunning onto something that might actually be their weak point. And then what we can do after that is we can have this be a dual combo where after the Spatial Rift, they're going to have Astrophysics and 2 Engineer. We can completely change what the opponent's thinking that they might need. We can either do another wall that's behind it that asks for another attribute, or we can kind of like change up like the question. So keep in mind that the Clown on his throne is only good for 2 turns, but what this asks for will still remain. So even when the Clown on his throne goes away, then this just reverts back to Cunning and whatever. You know, the opponent's not going to just like get an auto pass just because Clown on his throne went away. What we're doing is we're making it more likely that the Spatial Rift is to be good. We could make it all that much more likely with a distracted by thoughts of home. We could punish our opponent for not being good. We could actually like want them to kill their lowest personnel, but that they don't necessarily still have it. One thing we want to do for sure is we want to play with Hello Computer somewhere, so that we can make attributes minus like all over the place. This will only be in place for 3 turns, but we're gonna kind of go with a theme here. Let's do a clown beneath the mask. Because if we get attributes -2 across the board, then there just really isn't an attributes 30 personnel in the game. So this seems like an automatic, like if we're going to do this, let's definitely do this and have them be at the same mission so that our opponent's just basically locked out for 3 turns. And even when they're not locked out, you know? And then what we need to do is we need to find a setup for the Hello Computer. And so we need to have a select kill so we can target arc, physics, or computer skill. And we can do that either with M113 or we can do it with a fast ship would be nice. To give ourselves another dual combo, if we want to go into planet for that kill, we've got shot in the back available to us. But I really do want to try to leave this as a dual combo. Yeah, let's leave it as a dual combo. And we could also try to hope to get lucky with like a Garrick has some issues, but we don't want to do random selection unless we have to. We have Romulan mind probes too, which is really good. We could just do a strong filter. The other option is we could filter pretty hard with a Chula Chandra. We are going to Chula the dice here is what I think we're going to do. I think, because here's the thing. If they somehow still get past the spatial rift, like, okay, so we go clown on the throne, and then spatial rift, and we whack 2 people, but they still have their Astro Engineer. Whatever we've called, they now need to have 3 of that, because clown on his throne will change the Chula dice to say 1 personnel with that greater than 6, and then another with that greater than 7. And so they basically have to have and if we call integrity, they have to have an integrity group 9 person. Okay, so it's like our general plan is to have whatever it is that affiliation's weakest has to be what we called, whatever that happens to be, they have to have a person who is greater than 8. So they need to have a 9 or better in whatever that is. And if they're weak in that attribute, which is what we're trying to get them to do, then the chances of having any 9 is not very good. And they also have to have an 8 to back it up too. So they have to have an 8 and a 9. So I like this as a kind of off-the-wall dual combo that you just don't ever see. And it's a good wall that is followed by what is likely to be a 2-person removal, and it might be a multiple 2-person removal. And even then, they need to have skills for which to get past it. And even when our mess around card goes away, these 2 dilemmas still stand on their own, right? So, yeah. Cool. I like this as a starting dual combo. We'll have the other dual combo be one that kind of works with it. And I think what I want to do is I want to keep Romulan mind probes available in another combo. I think what we need to do is just have it be a fast ship would be nice. I like M113 creature a lot, but if they have like a human, then that person takes the kill, and then we may not be able to remove what we need to, and we really kind of want this to hit badly. So let's put a fast ship would be nice in front of a Hello Computer, Forces our opponent to have 2 archaeology, 2 physics, and 2 computer skill in order to beat the Hello Computer. So we get a kill of our choice, most likely a stop, and the reduction. And then when they try to reattempt with other people, like say they go this, it also hurts micro teams. Like micro teams are never getting through this. So it's a great anti-micro team combo. And even if they mega team, they still need to have 2 of all of these things. And it's unlikely because chances are they've got like 1 archaeology, but like 2 physics and 3 computer skill, or they've got like 2 archaeology and 1 physics. You know, because physics and archaeology are both like uncommon to rare, right? And then of course it just happens all the time that like somebody be like, I got these like 6, 7 people, and I'm going to send them in, and like not a single one has a computer skill randomly, or just doesn't have an archaeology, right? So I like this as an anti-micro teaming combo. It's also decent against, you know, like a 6 or 7 person team. So we get to kill somebody most likely, and then we get to Hello Computer them, reduce all their attributes, make this wall impossible to pass for 3 turns, and then even after those 3 turns are up, it's still not necessarily something that they can just automatically beat, because they need to have 3 8s. They need to have someone who averages out to an 8 on their attributes to beat Clown Beneath the Mask. Now, Jem'Hadar do that super easily. So, like, this is not going to be great against Dominion, but it is going to be decent against, like, Borg are going to struggle with it. They're going to have to adapt it. Cardassians are going to struggle with it. Bajorans are going to, you know, if they have attribute... You know, obviously, Clown Beneath the Mask is not very good against, like, lower decks, but, you know, lower decks is lower decks, right? Lower decks tends to solve a lot of problems for a lot of decks, so... But I think we'll go with this combo here. Because then if we do get the Hello Computer to fire off, then we nullify the lower decks. Essentially kind of a loose nullification to kind of keep our Clown Beneath the Mask reasonable, possibly decent. At the very least, like I said, it's definitely in the spirit of what we're trying to do here of just being weird and unpredictable, but decent. So, alright, I like it. We're going to move on now. So we've got our 2 dual combos set up here. We'll set those aside. And let's now work on space combos. You know, I mean, the Cloud is amazing. It almost was one that I decided that was like, no, let's try to build without it. But, you know, in the same way with like Ankari Spirits, but that's what we're going to do. We have Space Amoeba available to us. We're going to maybe stick with a theme of kind of wrecking planned attributes. Obviously, Subspace Shockwave, Space Amoeba is pretty classic. That's a pretty classic combo. The other thing we can do is we can pull in a spaceborne entity, and then as long as our opponent, just gets stopped and held up by the last dilemma. But the problem is those we're committing like 3 dilemmas just to accomplish like 1 ship destruction, and that doesn't seem very good. That's always kind of the problem with like this kind of a thing. Like Space Amoeba is such a good dilemma. The problem is that, you know, if they have like captain's log, then this doesn't destroy the ship, and there's all kinds of problems with it. Whoops. So I don't know if I want to do that. I really want to use topological anomaly somehow, and I had an idea about that while I was busy putting this all together, and I forgot what that thought was. But we get to have all Borg, all holograms, androids, and 1 engineer get placed in stasis. Oh, I remember kind of what it was about. So we'll come back to that. So, Disgraceful Assault, we can assume that we have Battle Bridge available to us. Basically, we have some assumptions that we can make. That the deck that we're building has access to Dyson Sphere. Has access to AU Dilemmas. Otherwise, even if it doesn't have Dyson Sphere, and it has a Battle Bridge available to it as well. We can make those assumptions. I want to say I double checked what. I want to say that like Stasis. Yeah, Stasis cards cannot be affected. I don't think. Yeah. It may not be targeted or moved by any effect except when to place them in spaces. It cannot be attacked in battle. So it's like it's so funny that our little combo where we were thinking about doing that we were thinking about as a total nombo, because you can stick a whale probe behind Space Amoeba, behind the Space Amoeba and the Spaceborne Entity, and it's a total nombo. Because, yeah, their attributes minus. This goes to attack, but can't attack them because of the whale probe. So it's like a total nombo. It's hilarious to me. Because it's the one that you would probably like maybe think of first. It's like, nope, it doesn't work. I've wanted to use invasive procedures for a very, very long time. Is there any way that we can do an invasive procedures? It's obviously bad against Borg because they'll just have a red drone. It would be bad against like any random Delta Quadrant deck that's running like a red icon personnel, defense sub command, like 7 of 9 or whatever. But I mean, there's a lot of decks that it would still be decent against. I mean, it's still going to be decent against a lot of decks. We'll set this one aside as well as one that we might do something with. Personal duty doesn't do much good for us because friendly fire is out. And again, yeah, but we have that as something that we might be doing later. Ooh, Aphasia device. This is one I've wanted to build around. The last time I really like played with an Aphasia device, was seriously, it was like in the combo, was when I was like, in high school in the 90s. I wonder if, yeah, let's go with that. Let's do, this seems like it could be really good, and we could make a 4-card combo out of it if we do this. Let's Plasma Currents in front, and then, or even if we don't Plasma Currents, maybe there's like a dual, no? Because we don't necessarily want them to commit like too much and then randomly have the double medical, double biology. We could go with like Armus Energy Field, and then at least make them put mission requirements in, and get a rando stop that might be relevant. And then what we could do is we could end it with a Ghost of Cyrus Ramsey, so that hopefully they like get whacked by the Ankari spirits. So this is the idea: is that we're stopping one, then we're disabling one, and the chances of them having 2 med, 2 bio goes down significantly. And then they hit it on Ankari spirits, and then as long as we don't randomly pull the Aphasia device guy, the Ankari spirits will kill 2 right immediately, kill 2 at the beginning. If they went with 6 people, there's a decent chance they've only got 1 left, and so someone disables again, so it would be, yeah. This is where the balancing act occurs, is because we want them to commit, but we don't want them to commit too hard. Because if they run in with just like, oh, everybody, then this just doesn't even work. Like, we spent all that time putting the combo together, this doesn't work. We could, I have an idea. We could do a thing where we kind of make them soft commit. We could ask for a soft commit. And also get help from the dilemma that's soft committing them. Where is it? So we could ask for a soft commit from either a Temptations of the Flesh or Archaic Ritual. Archaic Ritual could be pretty decent. The other soft commit is Mission Fatigue. So we're getting like additional stops. Because they did have Empathy and Leadership present, like to start the mission temp. Possible, I don't know how likely. There are certain, like, there are certain affiliations or groups that would definitively have it. So it's not really all that great. But with Archaic Ritual, no, where is my Archaic Ritual? There it is. With one of these two, we would ask for a soft commit because it's going to be, okay, you need to have your best 2 strength and a best cunning have to stop. And then a 4th personnel would go on. They'd get hit by the aphasia device. If that ends the attempt, that just ends the attempt. And then at the end of turn, those 2 people are disabled and the ship is quarantined. And so they need to have 2 medical and 2 biology that's unstopped already jump in to cure it, which is possible. Which is kind of why I like Temptations of the Flesh better, because they need to send enough to make sure they get like a command star through, but not like, because we're going to assume that we build a deck plus an opponent's like AMS, ASP, whatever. We could probably assume that we're going to get like 4 stops with this. So if they want to beat it, they have to send in like 6 or 7 to try to beat it. So they're sending 6 or 7, and then we have Aphasia Device, which will disable, like, say, the 4th one or 5th one. And then we hit Ankari Spirits, and so the Ankari Spirits is going to stop everybody, but kill 2 crew members. Now here's the thing, everybody's live, but they're stopped, and so we'll kill 2, and then we'll disable another one. And the ship is quarantined, so the people can't back out of the Ankari Spirits anymore. So I like this. I really like this. And then we can have that just be on its own, but I kind of like the idea of it and then having a wall behind it. So this could be our 4-card combo where we do this. And this is our planned combo. This is our planned combo for whatever their like best space mission is. So let's do that. That's a 3rd combo built. We still haven't even used our best stuff here. Alright, other space combo. So we have 20 dilemmas available to us. Again, I like the idea of like smashing space hard. Or at least planning to smash space hard if we can. Since we're going heavy on space dilemmas here, we are going to make a Buried Alive combo. Not that we're too terribly worried about like all planets, but we're still going to plan for Buried Alive. Yeah. Alright. So, other space combo. Second Life Form is fun. Disgraceful Assault is fun. I think Multitronic Menace is probably a better dilemma than people think it is. It's a very low bar, I'm sure, but if ship has any attribute greater than the number of personnel in crew, kill unique personnel. For each of the ship's staffing icon, mission continues. So, as long as, like, if the ship has, like, say, 7 anything and they're attempting with less than 7 in space, you know, we can kill a couple of dudes. But there are a lot of people are playing with, like, ships right now that have, like, no staffing icons. So I don't think this is a very good option right now. More of your kind is pretty good because only an orb personnel can nullify it. Now, granted, that means it's like terrible against Bajorans, terrible against Deep Space Nine, but versus pretty much everybody else, it's really good, which kind of makes it like an even better like Chula Chandra. But we do have Romulan mine probes available to us yet, so I think if we want to do a filter, we could do Romulan mine probes. But what's our heavy hitter behind a Romulan mine probes? I don't know. I mean, Gom2 Shockwave could be pretty good behind it. Obviously, the Cloud is really good behind it. Excuse me. We can assume that we could play with, like, say, 3 universal space missions, for whatever reason. Always back to Armus Energy Field in front of a Cloud. Make them have mission requirements. Get a stop. Make it harder for them to have the Cloud. Maybe Paralyzed by Fear is printed. Checks for printed. We're going to set this aside as well. I have an idea with it that I came up with here a little bit ago. I don't think it's anything, I don't think it's a new combo. I actually think it's a really old combo. But, you know, old combos come back and then people aren't ready for them because it's such an old combo. Right? Quantum Leap is really, really good. I think we may have to put this one as an honorary mention for the, like, we're not going to play with it. So let's do that. Let's go with Lucky 13, Quantum Leap. I've hit Kazon Bomb recently. I've hit Kazon Bomb recently a few times, like, and just been absolutely, like, wrecked by it, or at least would have been wrecked if it wasn't like a second mission, you know, and I'm just going in for, like, okay, cool. So let's put Kazon Bomb out here, something we want to work with as well. Female's Love Interest Garbage Scow is good, but I don't really want to play with it if I don't have to. We can assume that we might be able to double a Barclays, or at the very least, even if we can't, maybe we try to find a way that we can make sure that we can maybe douche the opponent. We want to do it in space if we're going to do it at all, because then even the stop people dying, because it's entire crew then, and that includes stop people. If it's an away team, it's just the people who are unstopped. So let's think about Barclays for our other space combo. Now, how would we make that something that's going to, like, really hurt? Let's set it up with something very good that really makes the opponent commit. Like, we once again could be back on Plasma Currents. Again, this is probably going to be our other 4-card combo. Because like I said, we want to maybe make space just like ridiculously hard. So let's yeah. Ooh, another option is that we make the opponent like look left when we're actually firing right. You know, like let's look off the defense here. That's an American football term or American football idea. For my overseas friends, in American football, a quarterback after they snap the ball to begin the play, they will intentionally look the opposite direction of the way they're wanting to go, and it's actually planned. So they'll like snap the ball and they'll immediately look left to make the safeties in the corner, maybe look in the backfield, jump a route here, and then the guys on the other side makes the receivers on the other side of the field maybe a little more open because it drew the safety over. That's way more explanation than you probably needed, but anyway, let's look off the defense by maybe requiring officer or engineer. So we could go with like a hazardous duty to start off with and make them have like double officer. Or trilithium raid. We make them have a bunch of people, strength greater than 40, so they probably need to have like 5 or 6 people, and then 2 of them are going to probably be engineer, which makes it that much less, makes it harder for them to have the medical science and security behind it. Then we hit them. The strongest people are probably going to be security. Maybe we're back to our archaic ritual again. We could come back to the archaic ritual again here. If we come back to archaic ritual, that's going to stop 3 of the people. Probably not the engineers. Where is that archaic ritual again here? Because it's going to stop 2 strongest and then the most cunning. So maybe? I don't know. Another option is we hit them with an arsenal separated. Because then like the unique people, divide your unique people to face on piles and piles stop to get past requires. Maybe we just set them up. We set them up with the arsenal separated, because if we're doing it in space, we don't have the arsenal divided available to us. This might actually be better, because what a lot of opponents will do is they will, if they have like a lot of uniques or whatever, and they know they can't beat V'ger or something like that, they'll intentionally put everybody into one pile, and they get to choose that pile to stop, and then of course they can't get past it because they don't have staffing anymore. This way, whether they have staffing or they don't, they might actually want to continue. I mean, it's cunning greater than 27, so I mean it's still more or less the same thing, but I don't know. What else could we possibly do here? Another option would be let's see. Another option would be we just get them to lack of prep, and then maybe if they don't send them, maybe we got douche 10 points out of our opponent as well. Stretch the game out a little bit further. Incentive-based economics is no security, and they need to have the other things. So they either have the no security, or they have the security, but they need to have like all those other random things, which definitely does not telegraph a Barclays behind it. That's another possibility. Let's see what else we got. I mean, we could just be right back to like half the people going away or something. I don't know. Let's do this. Let's go with the incentive-based economics, because there's a good chance an opponent might be like, okay, I'm gonna send in like, I'm just gonna have a, no, yeah. This is bad against redshirting though. It's very bad against redshirting because they send in like a lone honor person by themselves. They get past it. Doesn't really bode well for yeah. I think maybe I'm right back at Arsenal separated. Because this just seems like, poor man's like, oh, like, well, maybe they're setting me up for V'ger, maybe they're setting me up for the Cloud, and then it ends up being like neither of those things. Kazon Bomb's really good in space too, because once again, present, whether they're stopped or unstopped, they are considered present on the ship. Because being on the same ship makes them present. So we could hedge our bet. Or maybe we just do that instead of the Barclays. Because they're just not going to have 3 security. Or true security and a tricorder or 3 defense Borg. Like, yeah, I mean, this is bad against Borg, but, it's so good against everybody else. Also, the problem with anything versus Barclays is that, like, a Borg opponent is interlinking everything, and, yeah, it's just not very good. Not that we're worried about playing against a Borg opponent, because Borg opponents are always just going to be able to beat a lot of our stuff anyway. So we could do this. We could go Trilithium Raid. Not quite sure. God, I really want to get a Barclays to hit, but, I just don't know if it's something that we can just reasonably do. The other thing is we could just, like, start it off with, like, an all-available personnel to say, you need 6 people. I'm not letting you know what you need, but you need 6 people. I mean, but again, like, lack of preparation is basically, like, if they don't send in, like, a good number of people, chances are we can lose 10 points. That might just be better anyway. We just don't want to telegraph it. We would not want to telegraph it. So maybe we just do this. We just go with, like, lack of preparation, and then we just make it harder for the opponent. Like, if they micro team, they micro ship or whatever, they lose the 10 points, and now they don't really necessarily know what they need. They just need to know they need to bring missions, their mission skills. And then let's hit them with, like, an Archaic Ritual, because chances are that's going to stop. It's most likely going to stop, like, their security. I mean, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like a lot of this is just kind of hard to say whether it would work or not. We also could just go after, like, the medical or something like that. No, I think we want to go back to like the Romulan mind probes, maybe. Because like the Romulan, but I guess I never really want to use the Romulan mind probes on something like this. What do I do with my Romulan mind probes? The other option is like hero worship. We could make them really commit, and then most and fewest icons get stopped. Ooh, that'd be interesting. Who plays with hero worship? Seriously. It actually guarantees stops. It's like it's gonna guarantee 2. It might even get like everything. Might even get like so many things. Like, oh, you have like 3 dudes with 5 and 2 dudes with 2. It's like I'm gonna stop 5 people, and then yeah, let's go with that. Let's do that. And again, we'll go with Trilithium Raid as a way to do it without telegraphing, and then we'll run the Barclays behind it, and we are in a dual combo so far. Oh man, it's wow, we're in a dual combo. Maybe I just rethink one of these as a space. Then we could just be like, okay, we'll just kill everyone on the damn planet. But yeah, and then we could just make this be like, okay, we could lead off with a cloud. We could just literally lead off with a cloud. Like, oh, if you randomly have this, great, then you definitely have this. If you have this and this, we're going to make it hurt, like, really bad. But then it's a 4-card combo to, like, nuke one ship, and that doesn't seem very good. This needs to be, like, decent somehow. So, like, we could just put Maglock behind all of this. It'd be a decent wall. It would be a decent wall that they wouldn't, that is unrelated to this in front of it. So they need to start with 2 engineer, then we're gonna stomp some dudes, we're gonna hopefully kill a bunch of people. But we give them 10 points if this fails. Makes me kind of want to go back to Kazon Bomb. The other thing that makes this really good, this would actually be pretty decent against Borg, because like typically like all the red drones have just like 1 or 2 skill dots, and they all have like the 1 or 2 skill dots. And so you might be able to actually get away with, and then they possibly wouldn't be skill sharing. No, they would be skill sharing, wouldn't they? But they would need a lot to have the integrity greater than 35. They're definitely not going to have a tricorder. So maybe we get rid of this and we actually do this and we just go right back to this right here. Problem is though is that this isn't set up. This does not set up Maglock. It doesn't. We're killing the people that are like not strength. However, it would kill all the 6s. It would kill the 6s. And there's a lot of decks that are like that rely on beating Maglock by having 6s. So maybe what we want to do is we want to set up having the officers, so we could kill the officers. So maybe we're right back to like hazardous duty or lack of preparation. Or we're maybe I think maybe we're right back to plasma currents. Because then it's an actual space combo again here. We gotta acknowledge that we're trying to do an actual space combo here. So let's just do that. Let's go plasma currents into hero worship into a Kazon Bomb, which means you gotta send some people. I am gonna stomp some dudes. Chances are the Kazon Bomb goes off, kills a bunch of people, hopefully, and then we maybe catch some officers. And then the Maglock is not telegraphed in any way, shape, or form. And typically, to get past the plasma currents, they're going to have some officers. I guess. Yeah, I'm not sure. I feel like it's decent. Let's just go with it. Let's just go with it. Alright. So, then we actually have an actual space combo. Alright. So now we're back over here. Now, what I wanted to do with alien parasites is to put it at a planet where I can do Miyazaki effect to do a Miyazaki effect and like kill everybody, because we're running with a lot of like, we're kind of doing this kind of soft wipeouts. They need to have a ship there, but the ship can't be in the attempt. So we could put Crisis, which I don't have in here. We could put Crisis in front of this, but it would be a 4-card combo to make this worth it, so I don't know that it is. I liked this idea, but it just doesn't work, because like, it just takes too much commitment to even make it worth it. Because an opponent could just walk out of a headquarters or something like that. There could be no ship there. No, but like, if you have a headquarters or an outpost there, we can still beam back to that, because we're using their personnel. Beams back and away team if anybody beams back. So it's wherever they be, unless they walked out from a headquarters or a station. They had to have beamed there from something, right? It doesn't have to be a ship anymore, because it used to be a ship. Like, beams back to their ship had to be a ship, but it just was wherever they beamed from. So we could just run this naked. But I just don't know that I like it. Yeah, I don't know that I like it. And then there's this. So I wanted to do Buried Alive into Topological Anomaly, and the whole point was that it disables all those things, and then one engineer here, random selection, and it's here. And so it's not necessarily on the ship, it could be on the planet then as well. So it's any engineer there is disabled. And then they need a new science arriving. And what we could do is something that requires engineer on the planet. Yeah, maybe that doesn't even matter. Maybe there's just nothing to really do to exploit that with. Yeah, I don't know if there's anything we can truly exploit with this, so maybe it's just not worth doing. Med Crisis is really good. It would be another one that should maybe be over in the, like, it doesn't get used, but it didn't make top 10, and it might be one of the ones that would be like possibly 13 or 14 or 11 or 12, but you know, couldn't take all of our possible toys away. Oddly enough, I kind of like the idea of no, maybe not. Let's do this on the planet. Let's be interesting. So we've got, where is it at? Yeah, we've got artillery attack, and we have a caretaker's guests somewhere. We can go with that old combo. That old combo ain't bad. It's still decent. And then we could have that lead into something on the planet that's nasty. So like, we could like run it into a god, because then as long as we set it up where like one person goes through, then it just trips the god. So if they have a ship there, we just get a free ship destruction. If they don't have a ship there, they need to have a ship there. but it also doesn't seem like it's all that worthwhile. Hanonian Landiel's pretty good, because it just creates a wall that they have to get behind, that they have to get past. So like we don't have to kill everybody with the Caretaker's Guess artillery attack combo. We can just kill enough. Just kill enough sets up the Hanonian Landiel. You know, I mean, obviously setting up like rock people or whatever, just whoever they went with, it's, you know. But the problem with all of this is that, like, you're spending an entire combo to basically make it, like, one turn harder. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. That's just kind of how the game tends to go. Especially since we're not using, like, all the good dilemmas. Like, let's be honest, we're not using all the good dilemmas. Without having a lot of those good dilemmas, it makes a lot of this kind of less effective. Do. Always wanted to use Duonetic Fuel Generator in some way. Obviously, like, entertaining display into Male's Love Interest, Plague Ship is very much a combo, but it's something that everybody does, so I don't really want to do it. It's also just beaten these days. But it's a good point, though, now that I say that. Fact is, though, is the entertaining display combo into the Mila download into those people get wiped out. Is that really any different than Caretaker's Guess into an artillery attack at this point? Except that it can't be beaten. Like, this would actually fire off, and then whatever the wall is behind it is good again, you know? So we could do this. I mean, honestly, at this point, I don't know that it's any worse, because with everybody having the ability to download stone knives these days, they either micro team, lose the people, then download the stone knives, beat Mila up, and then just have at it. In which case, they haven't lost a whole lot of people. A lot of decks run something. They run so many personnel that, like, a random probe off the top is likely to be like somebody who's not a mission specialist. And so, okay, we could just run artillery tech. We could just run it naked, because even if they flip a ship, they flip a doorway, as long as it's not an equipment card, we're gonna get at least one kill. So maybe we just do that. Maybe let's just go run an artillery attack naked. Ooh, here's an idea. We could do this, just for the lulz of it. Ooh, we could just run a Horda. We could run the Horda in front of it, because it's gonna kill somebody, maybe kills a couple of dudes. If they just send if they just try to micro team like one dude, that one dude dies, and then they send another dude, that dude dies, and then they send in another dude, and so we've still killed 3 people for them to drill down. Another possibility is that we could, like, you know, force the ship in orbit. We could force the ship in orbit with a Jolly Chew. I don't know. I mean, Hanonian Landiel's easier to beat than just a straight up med crisis. So we could just go this into this into this. and then we randomly have the chance to like wail on some biology before they hit it, or they actually have the biology. You know, like maybe they just barely have it, but then we stop it. We stop a medical here, and then maybe they don't have it, and then the Horta will eat it, maybe. So that's a decent one. Maybe we just go like that. All right. This video is getting a little bit longer than I wanted it to be. So let's wrap it up here with one more planet combo. Something also a little off the wall here. So let's do... And someday I'll retire here, just straight up integrity greater than 40. This is a good dilemma in the game right now. If you wanted to set up a Denovan, in some ways it's better than the Founder Secret because it can't just be beaten by like one changeling or cunning greater than 40 in a tricorder, or just like the 4 red drones. Something to keep in mind for everyone out there in the future. I didn't play with M113 yet for a reason. So we do have M113 available to us yet, I think. Or did I put M113? No, I didn't. Where's my M113 at? Where's that Salt Vampire? Misplaced my Salt Vampire. Maybe I got put in the wrong place. I've been kind of accidentally putting things in the wrong place. I don't see it. Where's my Salt Vampire? Am I just literally looking right past it? I bet I am. I bet I'm looking like right past it and I'm just not paying attention. Because it's not here. It's not here. No, I haven't used it yet. Move. Yeah, Buried Alive, we're not doing anything with it. Doing that could be cool. These 2 duels need to just go back. Not quite sure what to do for another one. I mean, Jolly Chew is just really good, but it's just so used. Like I said, that I wanted to build stuff here for this video for you guys where you guys can see that you don't have to run like all the flashiest dilemmas and stuff to be able to like put decent dilemma combos together. You can run some oddball stuff these days and have it work. You know, where is the M113 at? I just lost my brain or something here because I didn't put it over here. I don't know. Yeah, I didn't accidentally send it over here, did I? No, I didn't. Okay. I don't know where I put my M113 anymore. My Salt Vampire just disappeared on me. I misplaced it. Yeah. I didn't misplace it. It's just, it's disappeared on me. You guys are all probably screaming at the... You're all probably screaming at your screens right now going, Kevin, you literally went by it 7 times now. Why are you so dumb? Why are you so blind, dude? And I apologize for that if that's what's happening. Yeah. could swear, because we were talking about it being in here, and then I thought I put it back. Apparently I didn't put it back, or I did put it back, and I put it back in like the wrong place. Did I put it back in the wrong? I didn't put it back here. I didn't put it over here, did I? Like I said, I don't think I put it. Oh yeah! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! I apologize for that entire waste of everyone's time. Oh my gosh, it's been a long day, guys. Alright, so M113 is something that we wanted to do something with. Maybe instead of the Horta here, we would just go with the M113 here. Because then we can target the biology. Guy stops and they're targetable. Even if we don't need to do anything, then we can target somebody who's maybe on a ship, you know, maybe at an outpost, something like that. And then let's go with like a Horta and a Duonetic field generator here, and then I don't know. Could hit him with a Jolly Chew here, because, like, you know, anthropology and the away team. Yeah, but here's the thing. If we do this, if we go Horta here, and then we could do M113 into... Ooh, this is good. This could be good. So, if we go M113 and we look and they don't, or if we just know they don't have transporter skill on a staffed ship in orbit, then we can just smash an engineer. We can just straight up smash the engineer here, and yeah, we straight up smash the engineer here, then we kill people here, and then because they can't beam up, they would not be able to get a transporter skill that's on the planet, off the planet, onto the staffed ship. There we go. That's a fun little combo right there. Let's do that. So we have our 20 dilemma combo, 20 card dilemma combos here. We are definitely doing some stuff that an opponent is not going to expect. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for sticking through. This has been a very long day, and part of the reason I wanted to do this now while it's been a long day is that sometimes, like, I don't know about anybody else, but I've noticed that my creativity actually goes up the more tired I am, because I stop. You know, my brain's a little bit less active. It's less tunnel vision. It's relying less on, like, you know, like, oh, I just know a thing. I've actually found my creativity's up. Like, I've had so many of my best thoughts. I've come up with decks literally in the seconds before falling asleep, and then waking up the next morning, and then being like, I need to work on that idea from the moment I fell asleep last night, or I'll wake up in the morning and I'll be in the shower, and it'll just come right to me. Like, all of a sudden I'll just have this idea while I am, like, zonked out, just trying to have the warm water wake me up, and that's just how it's been for me sometimes. So I wanted to do this while I was tired to kind of actually up my creativity. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Please like the video. Please subscribe if you already haven't. I'm trying to get to 100 subscribers here. Just as a personal hallmark, it'd be so meaningful to me if some of you guys could, you know, hit that subscribe button and get me to 100 subscribers. And yeah, like, feel free to take any or all of these combos to your next local tournament, since we're definitely in, like, casual season right now. We don't have competitive season for months. So definitely take any or all of these combos and have some fun. Catch some people off guard. Maybe you were looking at things here as I was building combos, and you all of a sudden found yourself inspired by an idea. Once you start eliminating those, like, well, these dilemmas are just the best. Once you set those aside for a moment, you can see that, like, you can make some pretty decent combos still. Even if you take those top popular dilemmas out, there's still a chance to build some powerful stuff out there and catch your opponent with their pants down. Because so often, good players, top players, they know what they need to protect. They know what they are expecting to face, and they'll send in like a team of like 6 or 7 thinking, I'm in space, I need to be V'ger, I need to be Cloud, I need to be whatever, and then you hit them with this stupid-ass nonsense that they couldn't plan for. You can really, really wreck some people's plans. And I mean like really wreck their plans. So, like I said, hope you enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe. May the profits be with y'all.